SecondsOut, delighted to be joined by unbeaten super bantamweight Chris Bourke. Chris, how you doing?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Just finished training.
What's it like being back in the gym after so long in lockdown? I know the Peacock's reopened now for professional boxers, of course.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice to be back in a routine again, and everyone in the gym's got a fight coming up, so we're all sort of pushing towards the same goal, same sort of dates. So it's good. It's good to be back.
Before we talk about the specific fight itself, how did you react to the news that you'd be fighting at BT Studios, no fans in attendance? I know you said to me in a previous interview that the biggest thing you struggled with in the transition from amateur to pro was selling tickets. So that's got to be a weight off your shoulders.
Well, do you know what? It is and it isn't because I was actually starting to shift quite a few tickets.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. And my lot are quite loud as well, so it'll be a shame, but it is what it is. I'm blessed to be able to still fight, so I'm grateful.
What do you kind of make of the whole setup? A lot of people have said it's like a competitive spar or an amateur fight on a club show, so you just have a select amount of people there.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit like the amateur days, where there's not a big atmosphere. You can sort of hear the shots, you can hear the corners. But I think BT have done it well. It looks quite a good setup.
You're going in for your first title as a pro, Southern area against Ramez Mahmood. Ready for this step up? You're 7-0, five knockouts. Obviously, one of them came against Louie Norman as well, who's a fighter experience. Seems about the right time for an area title.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's the right time for me to step up. All my team thinks so. I thought so. So as soon as the opportunity came, we sort of jumped on it. Really.
It's been frustrating at times coming from, a great amateur pedigree, international experience, having to compete against journeyman and such like early on in your pro career.
It is different because you go from boxing amateurs at a high level that are coming to sort of try and take your head off, and then you get journeymen that are really awkward and they're trying to spoil and just make you look bad. So it is different. Yeah.
What do you make of Ramez Mahmood? Obviously, won the Southern Area belt against Jack Budge, who was overweight. He wasn't able to win the belt, but still beat him relatively clearly. He was a good fighter, mainly on the small hall circuit so far.
Yeah, I think he's a good fighter. He's very solid, fit, has a nice tight guard. If I'm being honest, I haven't seen that much of him. I saw him live once, and then the rest is just sort of what my team have said and through like other people that have sparred him and stuff, really. But he doesn't do anything amazing, but he also doesn't do anything bad.
How easy
Yeah.
has it been for you to find sparring in the build up to this? Obviously, as we said before, the Peacock's only open to boxers at the moment, but you've got a number of fighters in your own team, I suppose, you can move around with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blessed. I've got Louie Lynn in my stable, who's a featherweight, and he's always fit, always ready to go. So he's perfect sparring, really.
Without meaning to be disrespectful, would you rate him higher than Ramez Mahmood, who you're going to be fighting?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, Louie Lynn boxed Brett Fideau, who Ramez boxed in his last fight, and Louie nearly stopped him. If there was another round or so, I'd say Louie would have got him out of there. So yeah.
You must be blessed to have that level of sparring then just on tap in the gym, someone who is that high level and has looked great as a pro so far, similar to
Yeah,
you.
Louis a monster, and not only that, he was a good amateur as well. He had a good pedigree. He's boxed for England. I remember him on the GB trials and stuff. And yeah, as a pro, he's just killing it. So it's perfect. We're both pushing each other on. We've got quite opposite styles, so it gels when we're sparring.
How much have you had a chance to look at the scene at super bantamweight and not look past Ramez, of course, but just how the landscape lies in Britain at the moment?
Do you know what? To be honest, I haven't really. I know the British title was the other day, and I thought Brad Foster boxed well, and he done the job, and he's won it outright, and he's only young as well. For someone that hasn't had any sort of amateur career, I think he's done really well. But I actually think super bantam's a really competitive and strong weight in Britain. There's a lot of talent. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't really sort of looked out there. I'm just taking my fights as they come.
It was an excellent fight on BT Sport, as you mentioned. Brad Foster against James Beats Jr. Pulled it out at the end, and as you pointed out, secured the Lonsdale belt outright. Watching that fight, how far away do you feel you are from that level? Not necessarily ability-wise, because we talked about the amateur days, more so in terms of getting the rounds in and getting that experience.
Yeah, I think it's important to get the rounds in. You know, to get 10 rounds in, I think it'll be a good experience that you can't. You need it's the experience that you need if you're going in for a big title fight against a champion. Um, and I know Ramez is tough as well. I've heard he's tough, he's durable, and he brings it. So I think it'll be a good step up for me. And for me, this fight will tell me where I'm at in the pro game so far.
You've been in and out of there as a pro. Were you always a puncher in the amateurs, or is that something that's come since the transition?
Yeah, I stopped quite a few amateurs as well. I think I used to train at Balham ABC, and everyone out of that gym was just a big puncher. It must have just been the way he coached everyone.
You always see fighters before they fight for their first championship competing several pounds above the weight limit for wherever they're going to end up fighting for titles. You've always been in and around 122 pounds. So
Yeah,
does that speak to your discipline, or does it suggest you could go even lower if you wanted to?
it's a bit of both. I probably could make bantam, but I feel strong at super bantam, and the reason why I'm always around the weight is my coach Martin has said stay close to it, get used to being close to the championship weight, so it's not a shock when you do finally have a championship fight.
Yeah, so you're not too far above when you're doing most of your sparring as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like all of my previous fights have been about a kilo and a bit over the championship weight, and you know the other boys I've been fighting have been weighing whatever, but Martin's made me get close to that weight, so my body's used to it.
Did you find it easy to maintain your weight and your nutrition during the lockdown period?
Do you know what? It was difficult for the first couple of weeks because I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know whether boxing would even be on this year, so I lost a little bit of motivation. I was still ticking over, but I wasn't going mad. And to be honest, my body needed a bit of a rest anyway, so it was okay.
If you ever need to take off the last few ounces, you can always like nip off the beard, I suppose. If it
Yeah, I know. Took as soon as the barbers opened the other day, I chopped about a kilo off.
What's it like at the Peacock at the moment without all the kind of keep fitters and stuff in the gym and just the pro team? Is it quiet? Is it better because you can focus more? What's it like?
Yeah, I think it's better. There's more focus on us because the only boxers that are in there are the ones that are fighting. So there's a lot of focus on us, and yeah, everyone in the gym's got a date, so we're all sort of grafting. Really, there's no one that's just sort of ticking over. So it's good.
As someone who sparred tons of good people and fought lots of good people, certainly as an amateur, something I haven't asked you previously. Who's the best person do you feel that you've been in the ring with so far?
My weight.
Any weight that you've actually sparred with or fought?
I've done quite a lot of rounds with Dogboe as a amateur before he went to the Olympics, so years ago. And I remember him being really strong and solid. Louie Lynn's up there. I think Louie Lynn's a real hard spar all the time. You never get an easy spar with Louie. Probably the most experienced and stuff. The guy that boxed Josh Taylor.
Which one?
Recently.
Aaron Chick?
Sorry?
Aaron Chick?
No, the mixed race guy.
Prograis.
Prograis, yeah. I've done a few rounds with him, and yeah, that was a really good experience.
That as amateurs or as pros?
No, as pros. He came down before the Josh Taylor fight, yeah.
Oh, so he's getting ready for the biggest fight of his life as well, so you probably got him like big form.
Yeah, he was on it.
Was that good? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it. It was good. It was good to be able to move around with someone that's that quality. I think he's a quality fighter.
Were you kind of friendly with each other? Were there kind of advice going back and forth, or was it very business first?
No, it was very business. Touch gloves and that, but he obviously wasn't trying to knock me out, but he was throwing the big body shots and trying to bully me and push me back and do the old pro tricks and stuff. So it was good. It was a good learning experience.
Well, you had a fair bit of weight on you, I'd imagine.
Yeah. His like pushes were just like sending me across the ring.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, that's great stuff. Before I let you go, and I know we asked this before when we had you in the studio, just let people out there know how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, my Instagram is at c.bourkey, Bourkey, and my Twitter is at c_Bourke94.
Great stuff. We really appreciate your time. Look forward to watching you in July, or later this month, I should say. I keep forgetting it's July already. Later this month, challenging for the Southern Area title.
Nice one. Cheers. Thank you.
Mate, take care.
See you.